question. I want you to read Gazette Notice number 10 of 1965, so that as you sit down, you are able to see how resources should be spread in this country. Secondly is on LAPSSET. There is very little public participation in both Isiolo and Marsabit, potentially where that road is supposed to pass. Coming to my question is on the standardization of projects. When you are constructing roads in different parts of this country, one will cost 20 billion, another one 5 billion. Is it not possible that we come up with the standards so that contractors actually do not become the beneficiaries in all these projects rather than the people? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Chair. And just for your info, the LAPSSET Garissa Isiolo is ongoing, so I hope you will start with that one so that since they're on the ground, they can take it to the bitumen standard rather than just leaving it at that. Mine is on the issue of the road maintenance. We seem to just leave our roads so that once they get dilapidated is when we start trying to maintain them. Could you be coming up with a program that we can do continuous maintenance, so that we avoid doing expensive repairs once the road has been dilapidated? Thank you.
Ambassador.
Thank you, Chair. The nominee. I want to emphasize on the issue of the quality of the roads that we are constructing. Teso South got the only tarmac road, the first and the only one, in 2017, that is Busia Malaba. But if you pass, and I want to invite you to visit and drive along that road, the work is shoddy. Already we have potholes along the road, yet it's even incomplete because the drainage system is still being done. They dug those, and it's not even complete. So my question is, the issue of standards, nominee, if we approve you, you need to put a lot of seriousness to ensure that this government, the people of Kenya, get value for money. Good works. And on the same, I just allow me ask a question that has been asked by my constituent, that the dwelling of Busia Korinda Junction Road, money was released by the British Commissioner in 2015 through Trademark East Africa. Until today, no works has been done. Probably you need to follow up on that and find whether any funds were released for the dualling of that portion of the road from town to Korinda Junction and what happened to that. Otherwise, thank you so much.
Naisula, one question.
Thank you, Chair. And I think the question on equity, fairness has been touched on. So I'll ask about something that I'm passionate about. And I was working on a bill in the last parliament, but it lapsed before we concluded. And I plan to introduce it in the 13th parliament. And that is that the Kenyan road system and infrastructure is so much skewed just towards vehicles, you know, so we look like we're discriminating on the majority of the users who are actually the pedestrians, cyclists, and other people who do not own vehicles. And so I really want to understand, and always the excuse is the lack of funds. While you see we shoot and we put so much money in one road, but we don't think of the other users of roads. So I just want to know, how will you improve mobility for vulnerable road users like cyclists and pedestrians across the country?
Vicaria.
Thank you, Chairman. MURKOMEN is a good friend of mine. And we'll miss him in the Bunge Football Club. I don't know whether to approve him or not, so that he can continue playing for us. But all the same, Honorable Chair, this is a question from a constituent. These are people who have invested in transport, trucks, graders, and all this. What they are asking is, what policy do you have so that when you give a contractor, either a Chinese company or from wherever, that the only thing that they will come with is that letter of award, so that they can be able to hire trucks, graders, and all other road equipments from the local Kenyans. And it is, you know, if you look at NAC Bank and other banks, actually people had gone for that. They took trucks on equipment, on loans, and all of them were later, you know, repossessed. So what policy will your ministry have for purposes of you know, giving jobs to these hustlers who own a truck or a grader? And lastly is about the KAA land in Nakuru that was meant for an airport, which was around 700 acres. I'm told the former Nakuru County regime has started subdividing. That land was meant for an airport, but because of some environmental issues, because of the flamingos and things like that, it was said it is not tenable to have an airport there because of the bats, because they might come back to Lake Nakuru. So that land is there, and people have started grabbing. And you know, we went there to an IDP camp, people who had been displaced, and they are there. And they don't have land, and that land sitting there, and people have started encroaching. Maybe what is the plan that you have so that these IDP maybe can be given an opportunity to be able to have, if in case that airport will ever be put in place? Thank you.
Mole.
Thank you very much. I can only declare that Murkomen is a friend, is not a neighbor.